Hello guys and welcome back here to MCM Esports at the London Comic Con. It's an exciting day as we get into this second game of the best of three here between Team Infused and Choke. It's the grand finals of the ESL UK Premiership. It's exciting, it's enthralling, it's enrapturing, and it's Excoundrel next to me here. We're into picks and bans. Excoundrel, Nidalee and Sejuani already being banned away.
Yeah, Nidalee, Jinx coming down. We did say that we thought Jinx would be banned out by one of the teams. Now it's up to Choke whether they want to allow the Urgot through again. So we always love it when the analyst desk stuff comes to life. So hopefully
you do. You're standing there like making these predictions, and I can see your smug little grin next to me when the things come true. Sejuani, Nard, Jinx, Nidalee.
Yeah.
What do you think of these bans?
Nard's good because they don't want to give it over to Xaxus, but in the other respect, it kind of hamstrings Numlocked a bit because if he's going to go back onto Mundo, I really want to see Numlocked get onto a champion where he can have a really big impact with, not just this sort of I will become a tank and kind of tank for my front line. You know, Mundo's great and everything, but
it didn't work for them.
It doesn't really provide much though.
Yeah.
When you pick Mundo, you kind of pick him to chase people down, and then if he gets caught, it's not too much of an issue. He doesn't really peel particularly well. You have to continuously hit cleavers to peel, but otherwise has no other form of CC. So I don't want to see another Mundo coming out. I want Numlock to go into something like maybe old school Rumble.
Rumble would be good.
That would be crazy. Do you remember when Numlock played Rumble practically all the time, and he was an absolute god
and
with
Sion as well. Sion's someone we've actually seen fall very much out of the meta. Haven't seen him at all this tournament. Rengar ban against Maxlaw, that is a respect ban, because Impaler's Rengar is superb as well.
And the Urgot ban comes through.
And the Urgot ban.
And I am very happy about that. But Hecarim has
Your
been
next
left
level,
open.
Excoundrel. I bow to you.
Hecarim has been left open. 5.8, likely to be going to the top lane. And Xaxus picks up a very powerful top lane champion. Now, Numlocked, what is he going to pick up? Is he going to pick up anything yet? Because he's got a lot of choice on his hands now. Obviously, the go-to champion versus Hecarim tends to be Maokai. And Maokai has not been banned and hasn't been picked up by Xaxus.
The thing about that, though, is you've got LeBlanc free, you've got AD carries available as well, the Sivir, the Morgana, Gianna as well left up here for Choke. There are a lot of picks you could decide to go for before going for that top lane because you already know that it's going to be a Hecarim against you, so you might as well pick up some strong champions while you have the options available to yourself. Infused, we saw Tech the last game in teamfights. It was end-game teamfights. They were very good at locking down Alchemist. As you said, Mundo not bringing a huge amount. Perhaps would have been better with a little bit more CC on that top laner. It's going to be Morgana Rek'Sai locked in here. Maxlaw's Rek'Sai, very well known throughout the UK scene. Yeah,
very well known around Europe. He plays so well. You see a lot of high-level challenger solo queue streams, and Maxlaw is there in Champ Select saying, "Give me Rengar," because he is just such a fantastic Pardon?
Rek'Sai.
Give me Rek'Sai, because he's just such a fantastic Rek'Sai player. Sorry, it's because the Rengar was there. I was like, oh, Rengar. But no, they're going to give Zodiac the Morgana again. Now, I like that. Zodiac played quite well on Morgana. Did get caught a little bit, but his bindings were really powerful. And obviously that gives a little bit of a protection as well. Alchemist has played Morgana in the mid lane too, so don't be too... Oh, wow. Gragas has been...
Yeah, I was going to say, Gragas has slipped through here. I mean, the Black Shield from Numlock will negate a little bit of that damage coming out from Gragas, but still a very strong jungler. Haven't seen Impaler play it yet in this tournament, so I'll be really interested to see. Yeah, it's been banned most of the games. And Sivir locked in here for Toaster, so trying to stop that knockup coming out from the Rek'Sai, stop the Dark Bindings as well coming out from Morgana.
This is a crazy strong composition that's already being built up for Infused. This is your classic-y Sivir type composition. You have the Gragas, you have the Hecarim, and the Sivir ultimate, and you're like, I can engage when I want, I can disengage when I want, I can reposition when I want. I basically do what I want. Yeah. So it's a really, really good composition that's great for disengaging and re-engaging when they want to, great for engaging, gives Hecarim the extra AD as well, especially imagine the Sivir ultimate as Hecarim teleports in with home guards, ridiculous amount of damage coming down. Yeah. And also people severely underrate, or used to, I guess, when Gragas first broke onto the scene as a very powerful jungler.
It's the Rumble.
Oh, it's the Rumble. I love it. Numlock's going to be going on one of his really old school carry champions that we saw a lot of in the Four Nations, and I am expecting some game-changing equalizers coming out from him. I like this as well because the way that the Sivir composition likes to work is everyone barrels in there, and if you see everyone barreling in there, that's perfect territory for a Rumble to throw an equalizer down. So yeah, I mean, we haven't seen him play too much. I know who he played him a lot in the top lane for Fnatic. So maybe we'll see some magical sparks coming out from this Yordle in the top lane.
You know who is very good at barreling in there? Gragas.
Yes. He's very good at barreling.
Very good at barreling in there.
That's why I said it.
That's obviously why you said it. Janna being locked in here for a while. He played that all day yesterday, did a very good job on it, and it's going to be Ulfrun's Ari once more.
Wow, yeah.
He played well in the last game, got shut down a little bit by Alchemist and Max Law, but was able to get into that late game portion where you've got the Ludens Echo, you've got the Rabadons, you've got a huge amount of damage, and Tudor picks up the Lucian here, played that yesterday, picked up a Quadra. Is he going to be able to have that same effect against this Infused lineup?
Well, for a start, the Infused lineup is crazy strong.
Yeah.
This is a high mobility League of Legends team. They've got Hecarim high mobility, Gragas high mobility, Ahri high mobility, Sivir with her ultimate high mobility, and then the extra movement speed from the Janna passive. This is basically almost a perfect composition to run with a Sivir. Really, really, really strong. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they manage to work into this. Obviously, they're going to be looking to engage as and when, and wow, you couldn't have picked a better champion to stop these full engages coming out with the Sivir ultimate. It's the Azir. You've basically got a proactive composition coming out from Infused, and then the reactive composition coming out from Choke.
Yeah. What I like from Infused here as well, they haven't prioritized Alchemist with their bans. We saw that yesterday. Banning out the Xerath against him does not work, because he really doesn't play that champion that much anymore. They're focusing on shutting down Max Law in the jungle, shutting down Tudup's main AD carry, that Jinx, and then using camping, really, on that mid lane to try and get Ulfrun ahead.
Yeah, and that's what we've seen Impaler do classically with Ulfrun, just try to focus all of his attention, all of his resources into that mid lane. And against an Azir, early on, can suffer against an Ahri, and it definitely is exploitable by a Gragas Ahri composition. So we'll have to see whether Alchemist can remain safe. And now obviously Alchemist does have that, essentially the equivalent of a Jarvan EQ combo where he can escape with the use of his soldiers. It's a little bit slower, a little bit clunkier to pull off, and obviously he has to hit level 3 before that becomes an issue. And Sona's taking some big, deep breaths in here.
Big breaths. I have to get my vocal cords warmed up for this action.
That last game really took it out of you because you were going absolutely in on those team fights. This guy is probably one of the best play-by-play casters I know. He's absolutely
thank
crazy.
you.
Yeah,
I'll pay you back for that later, man.
Thank you, because you always insult me usually.
Let's see how I can make that up to you. Anyway.
Do you insult me in the sort of the crush type insulting? It's like, I want to insult him, but really I love him.
Yeah, it's kind of like have you ever heard of negging? Is where you insult someone because you find them attractive. That's exactly what I do with you, Excalibur.
Oh, thank you.
You are a gorgeous human being. You're a wonderful specimen of a man, and anyone who is in the audience can come up and say hi to you and get selfies as well. We're at the back by the analyst desk. If anyone wants to come up after the game, Excalibur will be here, I'll be here. The rest of the ESL team will be here as well. And it's going to be an exciting game, hopefully. Like, I say this with all the best intentions towards Infused. I want a game 3. I want Choke to take this, just because the League of Legends action that we've had has been so on point, so amazing through this entire tournament, that I just want to see more. And it means I get to talk more, and I like the sound of my own voice.
Well, so. You know, that says everything about you.
Hello.
Anyway, apart from talking about yourself, Sona, let's talk about the game, because it's in pause right now, so it's obviously the height of League of Legends.
Yeah, I think a little bit, the runes have changed ever so slightly. There is a known effect in League of Legends where sometimes your runes don't change as you would like them to. So I think we might have a remake on the cards here, but it will only be a second before we're back into the game. Nothing major going on at all. It's exciting League of Legends action. Let's talk a little bit about these team comps. You said the disengage coming out from Alchemist is really strong against this Infused lineup. Do you think there's a way that Infused can work around that?
Infused can definitely work around that. And it kind of works in the sense that you're looking to make picks. It works a little bit similarly to their old composition, where they don't necessarily have the point-and-click hard CC or the skill shots that can lock people down, but as soon as they see someone out of position, Sivir ultimate comes down, Righteous Glory comes down, and they follow it up immediately with that, and then just basically make picks based on someone being slightly out of position and just chasing them down. It's more of a chase-down composition as opposed to a pick, so they can chase someone down if they're ever so slightly out of position. We are just going to quickly get this lobby reset up. Yeah,
it won't take more than a minute, really, to get this all sorted out.
Hopefully it won't take too long to get under the boards.
Across the weekend, we've had some really interesting games. We saw Choke go 2-0 yesterday against Rift Gaming. We saw Infused beat FM in El Clasico last evening as well, 2-1 there. Do you think that Infused have what it takes with this new lineup to beat out in Choke? They won the first game off team fights, where Choke is known to be very strong. Choke are known, in fact.
Yeah, Choke are really solid in team fights, and that game was basically on a hair's edge the entire way through. As soon as Infused knew what to do in that last game, they kind of managed to deal with the really powerful choke composition. We are getting into game here, just going to go through to the thing.
Just going to jump back into the lobby and get going.
So, I mean, away from League of Legends, how have you liked the weekend, Sono?
Oh, it's been great fun. MCM is amazing. It's the first time I've ever been to one. Superb, seeing all the cosplays around, seeing all the booths as well. There's some really famous people here as well. I think there's a signing booth just across the way if people want to go over there after they've watched the League of Legends action. Of course, the ESL guys who provided all of this for us are superb as well. They've got the shop out the corner. They've got Mortal Kombat. There's community games going on. Members of Riot here to talk to as well if you want to. I'm enthralled and excited by MCM Comic Con, and I will make sure I come back next time.
Yeah, I mean, this is my first MCM Comic Con, so... And I've loved every single second of it. It's been fantastic. I mean, so many great cosplays out there, so many great stands and stalls. You've got great deals and all of the things. We are just got to get into spectate. I think I'm taking up.
Nick Scoundrel wanted to play top lane there for Choke. I don't think you're quite good enough to do that at the moment.
I don't think I'm good enough, unfortunately.
Bronze Elo's not quite carrying you. No, he's not quite bronze. So we're just waiting to make sure we've got all of our admins in, everyone ready, and then we will be raring to go with the game. I think actually we might just have to sort things out in a second. Hopefully we'll be able to sort this out. But we are back into picks and bans. Bans coming out from both of the teams. Just going to be joke bans here, really. We've got Bard and Nivea and Amumu coming out from the side of Infused, and Blitzcrank, Udyr and Teemo coming out from Choke. Choke showing their maturity with the bans. Yeah,
definitely showing their maturity with the bans right there, and the bar coming out from Infused. Quick through the rosters. Luckily, we're on Tournament Realm, so there's not going to be a 3-minute delay that you might used to be seeing on live clients, so we'll be straight into the game. Hopefully, runes and masteries all locked in and on point. And here we are, 50 seconds till this second game in this best of 3 between Infused and Choke. Infused are 1-0 up, one step closer, one step away from being the grand final winners here at MCM Comic Con. They will officially stake their claim as one of the best League of Legends teams in the UK, and I think Choke have something to say about that. They definitely are vying to go for this next game.
That they are. Let's talk about jungle pressure, because we saw Impaler get pegged back in the early game, in the last game, on that Rek'Sai, who does go low in the jungle on her first clear. Do you think he's going to have the same problem here with Gragas?
Probably not, but I do like the aggression that Maxwell put down, and I really want him to see him continue that. I don't want him to be dissuaded from putting that aggression down onto Impaler just because it didn't have too much of an effect last game. What Maxwell needs to do this time round is, if he gets that kind of advantage, he needs to look to exploit it, like either continuously putting pressure on Impaler's jungle or making something happen across the map. Because they probably achieved their objective of keeping DX Alchemist safe on that Kassadin because they put Rek'Sai in a position where he had to farm to keep up. But that's not good enough, because obviously we saw Infused ended up winning anyway. They need to really crush Impaler if they really want to sort of win that jungle match. But you know, in the early stages of the game, Maxwell definitely out-jungled Impaler in most senses, because not much happened across the map anyway, and those counter ganks that he pulled off were absolutely incredible. And we are into the Rift, ladies and gentlemen. Could potentially be the final game of League of Legends you will see today, but Choke, they have something to say about it. They don't want that to happen, and we certainly don't want to happen to that either. The more League of Legends action, the better.
Here we go back onto the Rift. It's Infused on the blue side for this second game of the best of 3, and it's a pause! Exciting stuff, guys. Look at the sepia filter on this screen. This could be on Instagram right now. That's all I tend to see when I stalk people.
No,
that's all I do.
I think we are sorted. I think we're sorted.
We're good? We gravy? We Gucci?
Yeah, we're cheeky?
Gucci.
Oh, Gucci.
Not Gooch, as Machine would
we're
say.
Cheeky. Okay.
We're cheeky.
So,
we're a little bit cheeky. Got a little bit of flirtation going on here on the caster's desk, but it is Infused on the blue side. I think we'd just be getting back into the game. Someone's got just a little bit of an overlay issue on their screen, but we will be into the game in just a minute. Infused on the blue side, Choke on the red side. Zazas, Impaler, Ulfrun, Toaster, and Wawa. Can they take the second game? Can they take this 2-0 in the grand finals of the ESL UK Premiership League of Legends Open here at MCM London? Or will it be Choke with Numlocked, Maxlaw, Alchemist trying to turn those kills into gold? Chewed Up and Zodiac in the bot lane. Can Choke Gaming strangle out Infused and take this to a best of 3?
Well, I think the Infused lineup of Zazas, Impaler, Ulfrun, Toaster, and Wawa will have something to say about it. They performed out of their skins last game. I want to see another 50-minute game. I don't know about you, Sonia. That was probably one of the most exciting games of League of Legends I've had the opportunity to cast in the last few years.
If the admins can bring me a tank of oxygen, I would like a 50-minute game. Otherwise, Otherwise, I'm probably going to run out of breath about 45 minutes in, but we'll see how it goes. Choke are playing defensively, as are Infused in this early portion. It's what we expect. It's what we've seen time and time again. Itemization is exactly what we'd expect as well. Hecarim going for that Crystalline Flask against the Rumble, who's going to be trying to harass him down a little bit. Both of them look like they'll probably take a camp away from their junglers. Tends to be what top laners do now.
Do you know what's interesting about the skin that Numlocked is using? Most people say it's far easier to last hit with Super Galaxy Rumble than it is with any other Rumble skin. Just because of the way these animations work, they are... The Rumble animation for auto-attacking his normal skin is a side swipe, whereas it's more of a jab with the Super Galaxy Rumble skin. So the animation speed is slightly quicker and more effective, and most people get on with it slightly better. So that's why it's ever so slightly easier sometimes to...
Well, the more you know, Xscoundrel.
Well, you know, just the small tidbits
dropping
of information.
these knowledge bombs all over this mother flipper. And Xaxus against Numlocked in the top lane. You said you wanted to see the Rumble. You said you wanted to see Numlocked go back to his roots. Is he going to be able to face up against the rampaging pony?
Well, this is the issue. Hecarim can do quite well against Rumble in a 1v1. Rumble has to be very careful about how much he commits with that Flame Splitter, because if Hecarim gets a full-on charge and manages to get on the top of Rumble, it's very difficult for Rumble to get away from him. Obviously, he can use his scrap shield and sort of get away with the extra movement speed, and obviously use those Electro Harpoons to slow him down, but it's still quite difficult to really go toe-to-toe with a Hecarim as a Rumble. If Rumble hits Power Spikes, and hits like, you know, level 3, level 5, when he starts to get those Flame Splitter levels, and he can get the, well, obviously Numlocked manages his heat very well, but if he can continue to manage that heat in the laning phase.
Ooh, binding onto Toaster, has to put the heal already. They're going to get some damage down onto him. There's the Piercing Light, but the level 2 is popped there by Toaster, and Wawa knock up onto Chewed Up. He gets hit by the Boomerang Blade as well. The heal was burnt there by Infused, so Toaster and Wawa need to be defensive in this lane now that Zodiac and Chewed Up have this advantage.
And, you know, and what's also worse than Numlocked is that actually early magic resist is very easy for Xaxus to itemize with if he really wanted to. So if he was struggling, an early Spectre's Cowl is part of Hecarim's build, so it's very easy for him to itemize against that. But, you know, Numlocked is a great Rumble player. I imagine if he can get advantage and take advantage, look at that heat management, absolutely perfect from Numlocked right there.
Numlocked getting hot, but not burning himself up.
He can hit the power spikes, and he can start doing some real damage to their lead top laner like Hecarim. We'll have to see how it works.
We do see Impaler being able to pick up both of his buffs to start off. Gragas a little bit more tanky, a little bit safer in his early jungle than that Rek'Sai, and we didn't see the Krugs or Gromp start from Choke or Infused for that bot lane, so they're just going to be able to fight up against each other here. Zodiac and Chewed Up on Lucian Morgana.
Here comes Maxlaw.
Here comes Maxlaw into the mid lane. He's going to try and tunnel onto Ulfman, who will flash away from that. Keep himself safe, but that is the flash burn on Ari before she hits 6. Means that she needs to be a little bit more passive in that lane, has to stand back against this Emperor of the Sands. Haven't talked a huge amount about Azir. We said that his ultimate is great in these team fights because he's going to be dived on by most of this Infused lineup. Do you think the rest of his kit synergizes well with his team?
Yeah, I definitely think so. If you've managed to land soldiers on top of a Rumble ultimate, that's so much damage coming down in that situation. And, you know, a lot of people do pick Azir solely for his ability to stop these hard engaged compositions. So I think Azir is a great pick in this situation. He can freeze very easily. He can do very well against an Ahri in lane too. Obviously with a well-positioned Divide of the Emperor. Or Emperor's Divide, rather.
Divide of the Emperor.
Oh, wow. I've got the words the wrong way around. Worst cast that EU. But if you can get a very well-positioned Emperor's Divide, then you can stop the Ahri Spirit Rush in its tracks, and usually get a lot of return damage down too. Looks like Ulfman is attempting to bait here for Impaler, who's got some really nice, deep early vision down.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
That's really strong versus a Rek'Sai as well, because Rek'Sai has those slightly unusual gank paths.
Yep.
So it's nice to be able to spot them out. He's gone for the blue side specifically because we saw in the last game, Impaler was able to take an early dragon for Infused because of that Rek'Sai damage and because of the sustain you get up as well. Actually, Impaler's coming in here onto Zodiac, who does have the flash available if he wants, has popped the exhaust, knockup will land, but looks like it's going to back away. Impaler needs to be a little bit careful, but the Boomerang Blade will force them off. And they get the exhaust down, which is good, but Toaster still doesn't have that heal. Impaler actually staying around here. And you can see Choke being a little bit defensive. Impaler does have the flash body slam. He goes in, he flash body slams, Zodiac heals, but this is not going to be enough. The binding is, though. Impaler's going to be down. No! Boomerang Blade! Impaler survives! The Eye of the Storm! Choke gaming on the back foot, and there's the kill! Impaler takes him down! I cannot believe what I just saw, Xscoundrel.
That was, they knew that Impaler was there. They were baiting it out by staying that far away, but they didn't have the reactions to get away from the flash body slam. And Zodiac caught out there, and I can't believe Impaler didn't die. He got caught up in a binding at the right of the last second. Oh, wow, great play by the Infused bot lane, and Wawa and Toaster had a brilliant impact in that too. What more could you ask for? First run onto your AD carry and a kill onto your jungler to start his snowballing. Really great start for Infused.
He's got a Sightstone already. He's prioritizing that early enemy vision, something we see a lot in the LCS. Junglers going for that early Sightstone, getting as much vision as possible. Maxlaw might decide to try and engage onto Toaster here. He doesn't have his flash. Is he going to go for it? There's a back in the bush, but Toaster, no wards there for Choke. Here he comes. What can he do? He's got the tunnel, no flash on Toaster. He's got the spell shield though, and he should. Oh, he smites to get the knock-up. It's not going to be enough. Toaster will escape. Just under tower, the minions coming in as well meant that Zodiac couldn't pop that Dark Binding down. And Maxlaw not quite able to secure a counter kill.
I really think Maxlaw wanted to flash unburrow there, but he knew that the spell shield would really damage him. So he didn't manage to get that off, and as soon as the spell shield was there,
he smited to try and get that spell shield down quicker.
Yeah, oh wow, here we go. Numlock hit that power spike,
Numlock
here we
goes
go.
in, here's the Impaler, and Numlock needs to be careful. Nice equalizer, but that is a very dead Rumble. He was rumbling his way in this top lane, but not going to be able to do anything now that he's dead. Xazus helps his jungler get another kill. Impaler coming in at just the right time. I think actually Xazus probably could have taken that in a 1v1 anyway.
Potentially. The thing is, he got very low before that happened. Now, this is what I mean about Rumble versus a Hecarim. He's very susceptible to hard CC, and also very susceptible to gap closing abilities like the Onslaught of Shadows. And it looks like Impaler just trying to be a bit cheeky in the top lane. But yeah, I mean, he's very susceptible to these types of things. And you saw right there, as soon as Onslaught of Shadows came down, he was kind of dead in the water. And a lot of health regen by the Spirit of Dread from Xazus as well meant that he survived the Rumble ultimate. If you get on top of Rumble, it's very difficult for Rumble to get away from you, and I've got to say, Impaler has been on point with these ganks so far. You've just given him one of the best, probably the best jungler in the current game. He's probably going to make use of it.
Let's talk late game, Scoundrel. We haven't touched on it too much. In my opinion, I think Choke probably take the late game fights, just because Azir is so strong, Lucian can be quite strong in the late game as well. Sivir tends to fall off a little bit, as does Ahri as you get to like uber late game. But with Infused taking this early lead, do you think we're actually going to see late game?
Wow, we can't speak too soon yet. I actually think in the late game, it depends on Alchemist. If Alchemist gets really ahead, then yeah, the late game's really strong from Choke. But Infused have a pretty good late game team composition in their own right. Hecarim's a monster in the late game, as Ahri as well for the catch potential. And you can't actually discount Sivir. She gets a higher attack speed boost from Ricochet. She can clear waves very easily. Chewed Up using the ultimate there.
Gonna get some damage on us. So Zodiac spell shields the binding, and Chewed Up is gonna have to force himself back towards the tower. Toaster coming in gets another auto attack down. Won't be able to pick up the kill. Maxlaw is coming down though, and it looks like Alchemist, he sort of walked down towards the bottom lane, but decides against going in. They're looking for the dive. Toaster gets caught by a binding, takes a tower shot as well. Maxlaw just around the corner if he wants to come in here. Decides against it. That's going to force Numlock back in the top lane, and it's all back to square one here for Choke. And trying to be a little bit aggressive, but not really getting a huge amount out of it.
The interesting thing for me in that bot lane is if that Sivir boomerang blade had been anywhere near Lucian, may have actually picked up the kill, because flash and heal were down for Lucian, and that boomerang blade probably would have finished the job. But I think Toaster was trying to be too clever. He was trying to anticipate a flash, but he was trying to anticipate Morgana dodging the wrong way. So yeah, I mean, it was very close either way. And actually Toaster and Wawa behind on CS, but seem to be dominant in the lane just because of the item advantages they've got.
BF sort of pickaxe, that is so huge for the Infused bottom lane. Toaster ahead on AD, ahead on kills as well. Behind on CS, as you say, and isn't a margin that's large enough to be counted for here. He's 14 CS back. That's almost the kill, but the fact that Chewed Up had to pick up that pickaxe instead of being able to go for the BF sword as his first item really sets him behind. Yeah,
it's just a little bit, I agree. Yeah, Toaster, we've seen this from Toaster a lot. In almost every single game, he's been behind in CS, but he seems to be in head in trades. It kind of doesn't equate to sense to me, and actually Maxlaw going to take a small Razor Beak away from Impaler. Ulfrun having a bit of a difficult time on Ahri, and DX having a great time just zoning him out, but is ever so slightly behind on CS2.
Ever so slightly. Chewed Up able to sustain himself up once more. They're going to go and take out this pink ward. Nicely done by him. It's sort of settled into a little bit of a lull. It looks like Impaler's going to try and gank mid lane once more, but Alchemist relatively safe on that as long as he doesn't use that shifting sands too early, he'll be able to dodge his way out.
I like the way that Numlock's playing. He's got power spikes. He's got a decent, amount of AP and health on the board for this start stage in the game. He's near to getting that haunting, guys, and really doing his best job to harass Zazas down. I like it very much.
Oh, Spirit rushes in. Maxwell's around the corner, though. Ulfrin needs to be careful. There is an Impaler off towards the top who is pretty beefy on that Gragas already. Maxwell takes an orbital deception to the face. And it looks like they'll just back away. Actually, explosive castle use there because Numlock's coming down. Here comes Azir. What can he do? Numlock's going to pop the equalizer onto Ulfrin. He has to flash away. That's actually a very good trade for Choke. They get the equalizer down, they get the flash out of Ulfrin, and Spirit Rush down as well means that Alchemist can be a little bit more aggressive in this lane.
Yes, very much so. And all the
shoot-up's going to take some damage. The Thrill of the Hunter's been popped there. Here comes the Soul Shackle. Zodiac flashing into the bush. He's going to get the proc. No, he's not. The teleport comes out, and they're going to turn and burn onto this one. Toaster gets the kill on Zodiac with the Boomerang Blade, and Shoot-up will just back away. Teleport was completed by Zazas. Has the onslaught of shadows, the knock-up. Here it comes. They're going to shoot up. There's the kill. The ignite from Infused. Zazas picking that one up. Maxwell comes in as well. What are you doing, Rek'Sai? That's not a good position for you at all. He's going to tunnel away. But Zazas just going to be able to get himself back towards the tower. Nombra's going to try and push the top lane tower, but it's 5 kills to 0 now, Scoundrel, in favor of Infused.
Numlock had a teleport, but probably knew there was nothing to do without the equalizer, so just decided to do his best job of pushing top lane. But it's Rumble, it is an AP champion. He doesn't have the high AD values to push top lane towers easily, so I think Zazas will even or should be able to get back in time. Maybe not because they're going for the dragon, but it would be close either way.
Going to pick up this dragon right about now, and Zazas going towards that Trinity Force first. Can go back and buy boots if he wants to, so that would get him towards the lane a little bit quicker, and with Numlock backing away, the tower will survive. Ulfrin actually deciding to come up here and protect that tower.
Really interesting what we see from several Hecarim players. Some like to rush this Triforce. Yeah. Some like to go for upgraded tier 2 boots to get the home guards to make the teleporting impact plays. Yeah, I just love the difference in sort of strategies that we see employed by Hecarim players. I think the idea behind Zazas' build, he wants to survive the Rumble harass, but then also when he goes in for trades, wants that Sheen to allow him to trade better. That's why he's picked up the boots now, because Sheen is such a powerful trading tool for Hecarim. They've actually lane swapped this out now, so Hecarim's had enough of going up toe-to-toe with Rumble, and he's going to head towards this bot lane now.
Now they've got the tower in the bot lane, it's a lot easier for him just to stay in that lane. Shoot-up will try and push it in. He's 0-2 though, so not quite as big as he'd like to be. And with the Hecarim having the Phage and the Sheen already, it's pretty tanky on that. So it won't be too difficult for him.
And furthermore, now that the dragon is off the field, you don't have to worry about committing your bot lane top. This is very, very scary situation, I think, for Ulfrin and Toaster, because Numlock can very easily do some serious damage.
Haunting Guy's Sorcerer's Shoes is so strong.
It's a big power spike for Rumble. It's a massive power spike for Rumble. And he's actually got a fairly healthy CS lead up on Zazas as well. It's probably why Zazas has chosen to head towards that bot lane, because Rumble was just harassing him in lane. Impaler and Ulfrin there. Ulfrin gets caught out by a binding, but nothing going to come of it.
I mean, that's the danger when you give someone, when someone picks a champion that they're comfortable on, they know the power spikes, they know exactly how to manage it, and that's what we're seeing from Numlock here. Yes, he's 0-1, but he is that 20 CS up. If he can get to late and get these equalizers off, along with a good Emperor's Divide coming out from Alchemist, along with those Arise soldiers, that's a lot of damage coming down. Lucian dodging and ducking and diving and weaving around the fight. And I wouldn't be surprised, even though Choke are behind already, it's about 3,000 gold, I wouldn't be surprised if we see them start to win mid to late game team fights, say 25, 30 minutes in.
Very much
gets the charm onto Alchemist, he's going to go in here, there's the explosive
dust. Wow!
There they go, but the Black Shield is going to be enough. Ulfrin gets caught in the binding, Alchemist almost goes down, one more auto would be enough, but he doesn't get it off, and Ulfrin goes down to Zodiac. He gets away with that blue buff for himself.
Oh
Look at the
AD carry fight.
Oh, AD carries in the bot lane. Oh, things are happening and people are dying, and there's the dead body for you all to see. I'm sorry we weren't able to get that one on camera. Accidentally fat fingers one of my keys. This is the reason I'm not challenger. I fat finger keys too often.
I think that's one of the
I should be challenger.
You should be challenger. Challenger. But no, that was a crazy fight. I caught it on my screen between Toaster and Chewed Up. It was to the wire in terms of who was going down, but that was a nice bit of play from Choke. They tried to make the team fight happen, and I think if everyone had been together and they'd had the Chewed Up with the team, it would have been very much going in their favor. But in the meantime, it's another advantage going over to Infused.
That it is. It's only 2,000 gold at the moment, or 2,500 gold for Infused in favor. The Dragon coming up relatively soon as well, about 3 minutes on that one, so wouldn't be surprised if we see them start to prioritize vision down on the bottom side. 6 kills to 1, Infused ever so slightly ahead.
Yeah, I know. And Zodiac picked up the first kill for Choke, so That's not ideal for them because they would have wanted their gold to go into someone far more valuable, I guess. But you know, Zodiac's been hitting really solid.
Toaster needs to be careful because here comes the binding spell comes in, but there is a Maxlow around the corner. They decide against diving him with Wawa in the echelons of this fight. He's going to come back into towards this lane. Toaster now knows, of course, that there's a Rek'Sai there. They will just back away. Lane swap again from Choke. Going to put Numlocked down into that bottom lane to try and put some pressure on Xaxus, but Xaxus with the Trinity Force already pretty darn beefy on that horse. Maxlow chewed up and Zodiac going to try and take the top lane tower. Should be able to get it. Howling comes out, chewed up, eating a lot of damage. Exhaust goes down, here's beyond the 100. Toaster's going to try and go in, but Toaster gets knocked up there. That's Culling as well. Impaler comes in, shut down for Zodiac. He picks up the second kill of the game for Choke. Are they going to turn onto Wawa? Yes, they are. The teleport coming in, though. They need to be careful. There's no teleport available for Numlock, so he can't join this fight. Howling Gale onto Maxlow, perfectly positioned by Wawa. Once more, Wawa hitting those shots across the map, and then Xaxus is going to try an unstoppable onslaught in. Chewed up and Zodiac retreating to their tower, but Impaler flashes with that body slam. Zodiac's going to go down, and Xaxus can tank for days. Orphan coming in as well. They're going to chase on Chewed up. I don't know if he's got enough. Has he? Yes, he has. And Xaxus 3-0-1 on the horse. It's 9 kills to 2 for Infused.
Oh, it really, really feels like these power picks that the Choke lineup gave to Infused are really coming to bite them in the bum right now. This Hecarim is 3-0-1, the Gragas is 3-0-3, and your Sivir is 3-1-3. That's a perfect way to set up a composition that relies on all of those champions so heavily. Yeah. And yeah, this is looking really strong for Infused right now.
That it is. They are using everything they can to their advantage. 3-0-1, as you said, on that Hecarim, so strong. And the Sivir getting ahead. She's gone for the early Brutalizer as well. So it shows that she's just trying to win out these early trades. And I wouldn't be surprised if Infused in picks and bans just said, let's just win it in the mid game. Let's just force Choke out of this game as quickly as we can and take that prize pool for our own. Of course, this is the second game of the best of 3 here at the ESL UK Premiership at MCM Comic Con in London. Infused took the first one. Choke hanging on by the scruff of their teeth, which isn't an expression, but I've made it up. I don't know if your teeth can have a scruff. They do now.
Yeah, they're hanging on by a string thread right here. They definitely have. It looks a lot better than it probably is for them because they've only got a 2k gold.
Here comes Impaler explosive cast. It's not looking good for them at all now because Xaxus is there. The Culling comes out, but the unstoppable onslaught absolutely destroys that Lucian. He gets taken out. Zodiac, one auto attack from Toaster will be enough, and they're going to rotate down towards this dragon. A good fight there. Impaler once again showing his stuff on this Gragas. Jumps in, explosive casts them back. The Black Shield was not quick enough from Zodiac, and Infused to take their second dragon of the game. 4,000 gold the lead.
Yeah, this is just a display of dominance from the Infused lineup. Impaler hit a ridiculous body slam right there. I managed to get a good barrel as well to split the team up. And then you had Xaxus, he came in, Lucian had the Black Shield on, he waited until Impaler was able to proc it, and then the ultimate came out, blew up the AD carry. And unfortunately for Ulfred, he pushed DX Alchemist away. Alchemist had to use his ultimate to stop Ulfred getting towards him, but that meant that Alchemist was unable to take part in the main portion of the team fight that was going on. And that's really a really key pick for the Choke lineup. They need to be able to have Alchemist in the fray. And Maxlow, he's had enough, he's going in. Yeah, but Ulfred lands the charm, so Maxlow's not able to get the damage down there. He did try and tunnel in. Alchemist doing what he can across the wall, but look at the damage from Toaster. That's one Boomerang Blade and a couple of autos onto Alchemist. He'll have to back away. Ulfred has gone back to base, so he won't be here for this fight around the mid lane tower, and Choke might be able to take a little bit of gold for themselves. They're just trying to eke out anything where they can, because at the moment they're definitely on the back foot against Infused. Something we haven't said that often, in all honesty. Infused recently haven't looked top tier in the UK scene, but with this addition of Impaler, with the addition of Xaxus as well, they're really showing us. Always been top 4.
Yeah, they've been top 4, but they've never really been finalists. It's been FM and Choke for the last while.
It's been a while, but this is a really...
Oh, there comes the explosive cast. Impaler's going to go in. The Void Rush comes out, but Orphan from the side. Numlock gets destroyed, but he will survive with the flash away. Maxwell from the side. Can he do anything? Orphan with that Spirit Rush in. He picks up one, and look at the damage onto everyone. Zodiac going down as well. Alchemist basically with a modicum of health as he escapes, and Maxlaw, this is not where you want to be. This is not where you want to be. Rip in pepperonis, press F to pay respects there for Maxlaw as he goes down for the second time in this game.
Yeah, and this is just looking, unfortunately, like a very sad dog has just been found in a river, because Choke are drowning out now. Yeah. They are really struggling to win these fights. And in fact, every fight has been completely dictated by a wonderful engage from Impaler, followed up by really solid follow-up from Zazas. Both those guys have gone massive, and then Toaster 5-1-5. It's only Ulfrin that's sort of lacking in terms of kills, but that doesn't matter because the real core of the competition coming through right now is that Sivir, is that Hecarim, and is the control that Gragas provides these team fights. This is dominating from Infused.
Showing what they can do when they take these early game advantages, and a lot of that is on Impaler. He got that early Sightstone, he's put a lot of impetus on getting vision in the enemy jungle, and he's just helping his team so well. We do see what looks like it's going to be a Yumu's Ghostblade here from Toaster, so going for that mid-game spike, which is what we've been talking about throughout this game. It's 6,000 gold, the lead for Infused. Is there a way for Choke to get back in this?
What a question.
I think that says everything, doesn't it? If you can only giggle.
What a question. Yes, there is definitely ways that Choke can make it back into this, but it requires some perfect coordination in teamfights from Numlock and from Alchemist. They have hit some key items that are coming up. Zhonya's nearly finished on Numlock. He should be able to get it on this back. It looks like, I think, Zhonya's or Luden's Echo coming out soon on Alchemist. I imagine it will be a Luden's Echo. So there is definitely ways here for Choke to make it way back into it. If they get these key item spikes and land a beautiful equalizer, separate people out with the Emperor's Divide, then yes, I definitely see a way for Choke to make their way back into it. They have a Morgana. They can still make picks, you know. They can still pick people off, but right now it's looking very difficult. And a very early group coming out from the Infused guys means it's harder and harder to make those kinds of picks. Yeah.
One of their main problems for Choke at the moment is that Numlock can't really split push here. It's Alchemist and Maxlor going for the sneaky Baron play. Zazas just around the corner will place a ward in. They know you can do this when you're playing as it, and they have to back away straight away. Maxlor.
Oh, Maxlor.
And Alchemist. Like,
that was a desperation play at its finest.
I totally understand why they did it. It's something you can do on Azir. They got the vision control, but Numlock wasn't able to keep Zazas interested in the top lane. They lose 2 members. Impaler goes in onto Zodiac. Where's the spell shoot? Right at the end. Doesn't manage to pick up the damage there. Ulfrin gets his 3rd kill of the game, and Impaler and Infused they're just destroying Choke Gaming.
Yeah, right now is a massive difference between the last game that we saw and the game that we're seeing right now. And I think a lot of it is because of this perfect composition that Infused are just allowed to have. They got the Hecarim, they got the Gragas, they even got the Ahri and Sivir. All of these champions are highly contested in competitive play right now, and Infused were just allowed free roam of the entirety of them.
It feels a little bit like Choke had an idea of what they wanted to do, and they forgot that there were strong champions in the meta. They were like, oh yeah, we know what we'll do. We'll play this team comp. We work well as this team comp, and forgot that Hecarim is incredibly strong.
22-minute inhibitor as well.
Yeah.
22-minute inhibitor off the board for Choke. I mean, Infused are just, they're holding no... They've got no mercy right now. It's rubbing salt in the wounds of Choke. It's, you know, we've beaten you in team fights. We're just going to take you away and then take your towers off the map. We're going to take your inhibitors off the map. It's so difficult right now for Choke, and I can't imagine how they must be feeling, because last game was so tense and so close. They had swings of gold leads that went back and forth, left, right, and center. Yeah. This game, there's no question. There's no question about it. It's 10k gold almost in favor of Infused, and Zazas going straight towards Zodiac, but obviously the Black Shield comes down. And yeah, this is just difficult for Choke to get back into this now.
It definitely is. We see item spikes all across the board here for Infused. They've got the Trinity Force Spirit Visage on that Hecarim, along with the Home Guards, which is such a strong spike for him. Lock at the Iron Solari on that Jungle Gragas as well. Rabadon's already completed on Ahri, and then that Sivir is absolutely huge. Infinity Edge, Yumu's sitting on 300 gold as well, so Vampire Acceptor probably into Blade of the Ruin King. Alchemist in the top lane, he does pop the Emperor's Divide, flashes across the wall. Nicely done there, actually. Very good micro-intensive play there by Alchemist to get away, but look at he doesn't put any damage down onto Zazas. Absolutely nothing, and meanwhile, the rest of Infused is like, yeah, we'll just take a tower. It's fine.
That was, now Zazas is saying he's going to go towards Macro. He's trying to stop things from getting towards his bot lane again, and Toaster gets locked up, and nice culling coming out from Chewed Up right there. He manages to just delay this bot lane ever so slightly, which is good for the Choke lineup.
10,000 gold here for Infused. They are sitting on all the aces. They have all the cards in their pocket. They are playing poker with all the chips, and it looks like the House of Choke Gaming are gonna fall down flat pretty soon. Second inhibitor tower about to go down here for Infused. They're gonna push towards the inhibitor as well, finding on Zazas, but doesn't really matter. The equalizer is well positioned. What can they do? Maxwell jumps in. He can get down so quickly. A nice monsoon there from Wawa. Numlock's in the middle of the fight. Zodiac with the soul shackles. It won't proc though, and this means Infused can run. They can go. They can go into Numlock. Get the kill. It's a double for open. Toaster flashes in aggressively onto Alchemist. He's going to go down as well. There's no gold for you here, and it looks like Infused are going to take the second game of the ESL UK Premiership. This is the grand final. It's a best of 3. Chewed Up trying to do what he can to defend. It's 21 kills to 2 though, and Chewed Up is going to get spat out here by Infused. He gets destroyed. He goes back to the fountain, and Infused will take the Nexus and take the game here. 2-0 against Choke Gaming.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant play. They got a fantastic composition out there. Nothing could be done about that. It was ridiculous the amount of power picks that Infused were allowed free roam of. Choke just didn't have it in the tank. Numlock was the key member of Choke right there, and he got camped pretty early on, or at least the early ganks that went down really shut him down. And then they lane swapped out. They didn't even allow Numlock to abuse the power spikes that Rumble has to sort of pressure down Zazas.
Look at that last team fight. The equalizer was absolutely perfect. Beautiful positioning, locked out 4 members. Everyone had to retreat out, but Choke had nothing after that. They had no damage, nothing they could do whatsoever. We see Infused there, very proud, holding the trophy. Wawa looking like a god once more, the team captain for Infused as well. They're going to go shake hands with Choke Gaming. In a minute, we'll get an interview with Wawa and the rest of the Infused team. Scoundrel, how do you think they're feeling right now?
Well, both teams, I mean, Choke